Welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Podcast, y'all. I am your host, JoJo.
And I'm Tyra.
Ooh.
We're back. What's poppin'?
Well, it's still Pride Month.
It is.
It's coming and going, per usual.
Mm-hmm.
But this past weekend, first weekend, for those who I guess went or didn't know, Philly had their Pride. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go because I worked. But Asbury also had their Pride.
Mm-hmm.
She got to go. Tyra went with her sister. Again, I was working. So you want to talk about Asbury?
It was cool. I feel like it's less hectic, obviously, than New York. It's by the beach. However, I feel like it was too cold. Like, I mean, I was wearing a skirt and a little shirt.
I mean, what expectations did you have for it?
I don't know what expectations, because I thought it was, it's by the beach.
I'm
so
saying to compare it to New York,
No, I'm just comparing it to whatever's close by, and like New York and Philly, but Philly's a little bit further. But it was cool. The only thing is that I went into the festival, and then afterwards I learned that a lot of people don't go into the festival. You have to pay to get into the festival, and they have a lot of little stores where you can buy stuff and things like that.
Vendors.
Yeah, so it's like they have the parade at the same time they have the festival, and they have like a concert there.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently a lot of people like hang out outside of that by the bars. We did end up going to a bar close by called like Wonder or some shit like that. It took me like 20 minutes to get a drink. I was over it completely. Like, I was telling my sister, I was like, this is why I don't go out. Like, this is because I hate going to like a place or a bar and I can't get a drink. Like, nothing pisses me off more.
Yeah, if it take too long, it's like, I don't even want it anymore.
Bro, and like we were waiting, and like I felt bad because the guy was clearly busy, but he was like focusing on just like one section of the bar. Yeah. But they also only had like one person, and it was packed. And then they had like two more people in the back. So I went to the back bar and I got a drink there. But bartenders, I don't know how y'all do it because it's just too much. They be running around back and forth and like mixing things up, and I don't know how they do it. I just couldn't.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Too much pressure, honestly. But it was cool overall. Like, I would definitely go again. I just wish that they did it when it was like warmer outside, like actually like beach weather. Like, it wasn't beach weather.
Why? You trying to go to the beach?
I'm trying to get a little tan.
It's always a hit or miss around
I'm
the
trying
beach,
to drink
though.
on the beach. Like, I'm trying to feel like I'm in Miami.
This girl.
Like, that was the vibes that I thought. But at the same time, I was like, well, I'm not getting crazy because I'm driving. So it's like, that's not the point.
So your expectation was that because it was an Arab beach, you wanted the beachy vibe. You wanted the beachy pride.
Yeah, pretty much. It could really be really lit if they did it towards the end.
Well, then maybe you should go to Fire Island.
Oh, I heard that's a thing too.
Yeah, yeah.
When is that?
I think in August, I want to say.
Okay, we're not
sure. What are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Aside from Asbury, we went to Montclair Pride.
It's in July.
Oh, okay. We went to Montclair Pride, which was cute. It was it's in like a little, city area where
in Montclair.
Yeah, obviously. In Montclair, but like on a pretty popular, it's kind of a popular area where they did it, and it was kind of like a street festival. Mm-hmm. It was cute, very family oriented. Nothing crazy. Like, I didn't have expectations of it to be. I feel like when it comes to Pride events, there's this expectation of party. Like, it's going to be this wild, crazy. But it's not.
No.
I expect that from, like, Philly and New York, of course. But, like, these little township prides and stuff, I don't expect them to be this crazy.
It was more family-oriented. Yeah. For sure. I would definitely go again.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cute. Like, they had bars and you could actually get a drink. Mm-hmm. Nothing crazy. Like, there was food. So
they had some performers. Yeah. It was definitely a good time for, like, a family thing. Mm-hmm. Which we did see a lot of families. A lot of people went. So that was cute. That was my first Pride festivity of this month.
Oh, that was your first Pride thing?
Yes.
Wow. Tragic.
It's okay.
But other than that, how have you been?
I've been all right. Same shit, different day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Another day, another dollar.
another day, another dollar.
OMG.
When she leave, I never call her. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I'm going through still some transitions with my new job. So I guess most of my time has been based on that, which I'm very grateful for. And that's really it. I don't got much going on right now, so.
What are you looking forward to with this job? Like in the next year, 2 years, 3 years?
I don't know. It provides me the opportunity to continue getting my degree.
Mm-hmm.
I have an associate's degree right now. So with this position, it provides me the opportunity to go back and get my bachelor's. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of what I look forward to in this job, and also like getting to know the job, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Getting back into, it's not really what I was doing before, but it's within the same thing, I guess.
Within the same field.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess yeah, just getting better at the job, and I guess getting to know the community that I'm going to be working in.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes.
Right. That's good.
How about you?
How about me? I mean, for one, my health is spectacular. Like, no issues over
Wow,
here.
you don't
Like,
hear her say that often.
right. Like, no stomach issues, no like endometriosis craziness, no bald spots.
Honestly, I
Like,
feel like that's the first in the last 3 years.
yeah, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nutty. I'm taking way less medication now than I've ever had before too. Like right now, my daily medications really consist of vitamins. Before, I was like an old woman, like having so many pills to take in a day that I had to have a little. Well, I still have it, like a little, a little box that says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. This dog is always in the way, and then he be coughing and shit. Like I don't know what's happening, but
He's obsessed with me.
yeah. Um, but yeah, my health is good, which is unheard of. I quit my job, which is crazy news.
Surprise! You got no choice but to be good. You ain't got no insurance.
Right. I really think that some of my health issues really related to probably my job. I feel like stress really has stress has a big impact on like your day-to-day, like your mental health, your physical health. And the reason why I decided to leave that job was for many reasons, but for one of them, it was like working past 40 hours without not getting paid for those 40 hours, and then feeling like I wasn't being valued as an employee, and I'm just way too grown for this shit. And a lot of people that I work with were younger than me, and sometimes we just didn't see eye to eye. Like I had people supervising me who were younger than me, and I just felt like at times it was like they could have someone else do this job, because I just feel like some people just weren't the right fit. And they were doing layoffs, and I was like, you know what, been there, done that. I'm not gonna stay here to get laid off. And they were doing layoffs, and then they also did promotions at the same time. And then when they did layoffs, it was like, here's more work without more pay. And I tried negotiating, and it was like it was kind of like we're not even going to talk about it type of thing. It was kind of like it is what it is. If you leave, you leave. We don't really care. That's how I saw it. So I was like, I'm going to put myself first for once, because one thing about me is that I really would stick with a job till I'm crying every day. And I was like, I don't need that, just because I have the flexibility now to make more income on the side with real estate. And it was to the point where it was like one deal, like one rental deal a real estate transaction was one paycheck of me working 80 hours. I was trying to do the math and I was like, no, like I'd rather find something else and like continue with real estate just like as like a side thing, but still look for something else in the same field. So that's where I'm at right now. With real estate, I feel like I enjoy it, but you know how much I struggle with certain people. Like, I thought that coming into real estate, I was gonna have an issue, one, finding clients, and two, just with clients in general, because I know people could be like really difficult to work with. But instead, I actually have had the best experience with clients, and I've struggled really with the real estate like profession and like real estate agents themselves. Like they could be such assholes for no reason, and you really have to have tough skin, which I do have tough skin.
But it's like, why do you even have to?
But why do I even have to, right? Like,
we're all about getting our money here.
Right.
If I'm showing you a certain level of professionalism, I should get that back.
Right. And I feel like I am so nice. Like, you could see it in my text messages, but I don't know why. I don't know if it's like maybe like a text message thing or just like people are old school and they don't know how to write. But I'm going to give you an example and then we'll go into the the episode. But this is what happened to me yesterday. I was going to go see a listing. And it was a new listing, whatever, beautiful. I was like, let me go see it. And when I get there, well, first, so then I texted the agent and I said, hey, can you please give me the showing instructions to see this unit? Because that's what you have to do. And that's what she left in the instructions or whatever. And then she said, oh, like I put that already in the notes, which she didn't. So I sent a screenshot and I said, oh, it's not there. So then she sent me the instructions. Then I get there. I get the keys. None of the keys open the door. None of the keys open the door. And I even recorded it because I was like, I know I'm not an idiot and I know how to open the door. So I'm trying to open the door and like, and it's fucking hot outside. I'm sweating. Luckily, I wasn't with the client, but imagine if I was with the client. Yeah. Like I went to go see it myself first.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, none of these keys work. And I have to do another showing after that. So I texted her and I'm like, I'm guessing this unit hasn't been shown before because none of the keys are working. And she was like, those are the keys. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to her later. I go do the other showing. Then I sent her once I cooled down, because I was like, you know what? Like I'm not about to go crazy on this lady. I sent her a video and I said, hey, I don't know if I was doing something wrong, but please look at this video where I was trying to open the door. I'm a new agent, so I appreciate your patience. That's what I said to her. And she was like, no, you weren't doing anything wrong. Like, I'm surprised that she was being this nice. She was like, I actually put the wrong key there. I actually left the wrong key there. How y'all been doing this shit for 25 years? And you, like, that's like such a rookie mistake to like leave the wrong key. Like, I feel like you're sabotaging me at this point, because if I was with a client, and if I was a client, I would be like, damn, this real estate agent is dumb. She can't even open the door. People don't got time to waste. And there's a lot of real estate agents out there. So if they don't like you, they're moving on to the next. If they feel like you don't know what you're doing and you messy and shit, they're moving on to the next agent because their agents are in their DMs. So these are little things that happen to me on the daily that I have to deal with, and I have to kind of bite my tongue, and I'm still really nice and I still get shitty responses or like no responses. And yeah, it's just it's really difficult to work with other agents from other offices. And when I vent to like other agents about this, they just say you have to network and you have to know people, which I have networked and I have tried to get to know people. And if you listen to this podcast, you got to listen to the episode where we talk about coming out at work, so y'all can see what type of networking be happening when I try to go out there. Disrespect, truly. But yeah, just had to vent and keep y'all posted on our life, you know.
But like, why do you feel like you have to tell them that you're a new agent?
No, I don't feel like I have to. Like a lot of people, they don't disclose that, like that you're new, like that. Like if they're a new agent, they won't tell you that. Mm-hmm. And I don't disclose that to some people. I feel like in this instance, I was like, you know what? Let me. Sometimes I feel like I have to put myself, like I have to blame myself in order for some of these agents to really like cooperate and like be a little nicer. So I'm blaming myself by saying, "Oh, I'm a new agent. I'm sorry. Can you just explain this to me?" When in reality, like they're the ones who fucked up. And um it hasn't gone well though, because remember when there's another story where I said I was a new agent and she was like, "It's clear," and then she
Yeah,
blocked
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
she
yeah.
blocked
Like
me.
it's it's giving pettiness. Like
It's
there,
petty. It's
it's just
petty. It's petty. I went to go see another unit in Jersey City, and my clients were downstairs. I was like, let me go see it first. I go in there, cockroaches everywhere, like big ass cockroaches, like big, not little ones, big, big, big in each room, many. And my client has a kid. I was like, I'm gonna save you going up four flights of stairs because there's so many cockroaches up there. Like, I'm embarrassed for you to see that. He was like, oh, nah, it's cool. So then I tell that to the agent, like, listen, that place was really messy, filthy, cockroaches everywhere. Did you bother to even look at it? And she was like, yeah, it's clear as day that you're a new agent. And then she blocked me. Like, I think that's a valid question. And I feel like, yes, real estate agents could be really busy, but it takes literally 2 seconds to maybe ask the landlord, can you send me a video of the unit? I want to see what it looks like. If you see cockroaches, can you pick that up for me? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a Virgo and I feel like I am the type of person that I need to have everything in order, and I really care about like customer service and like making sure that people have a good experience, regardless if you're a client or if you're an agent or if you're a lawyer, whatever the case is. Like people want to have a good experience with you. She's over here burning bridges by blocking me.
yeah, she was rude as fuck.
Weirdo shit. But anyways, to continue on the Pride festivities, we talked about it before, but we just want to remind you guys that we're having 2 events with Las Reinas this month. The first one is going to be June 22nd, and the second one's going to be June 30th, which is the day of Pride. And the links are on our bio. So yeah, June 22nd, June 30th, and then Preciosa Night is also having an event June 29th.
I'm excited.
We're busy.
Yeah. I like doing things. I like getting into things. I love when we have things to look forward to. But when there's so many things like directly back to back, I almost feel like,
Overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's so much happening and it's like, not that I don't look forward, like I obviously look forward to all these events. Pride Month, it's my motherfucking month. Love it. But like even just in general with other things, when we have like events that we're invited to and stuff, it's just like you said, it's very overwhelming and it's just a lot because now it's almost like, not that it's not for fun, but I don't know. When things become
like business?
Yes. When it's like, like it starts to just feel like it's for work. It's because I have to, not just because I want to.
Yeah.
Like it's work. It's not play. And I feel like sometimes I catch myself like, I rolled my eyes because it's just like, when I feel like it's just work, I'm just like, ugh.
I don't see it like that though.
I'm not saying these things are, but I'm saying with some things, like even just the podcast, I won't lie. I have times where I want to be here. I want to do this. Mm-hmm. And then there's times where it's just like, I have to do it because it's out of like obligation. It's like, we have to do it because if we don't, then what? Yeah. What the fuck are we doing? Like, what's the point? But I don't know. So hit or miss sometimes is all.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we don't have to do anything because we don't have a contract with anybody.
That's valid. But, when I also feel like we're held to a standard as well as expected to, do these things. So, I mean, even from ourselves, I feel like we hold ourselves to a standard and expectation. If I don't want to do something, but you're like, we have to, then it's like all right then. I don't know. Like
Mhm.
sometimes it could be a little annoying and it can be conflicting.
I
Um,
think I think what you're struggling with is like I was listening to Two's podcast, and they're really funny, really great. They're from London, right? Um, and they were saying how like they have been producing content all year without skipping any weeks. And I feel like what we struggle with is they get to go to a studio and sit there and record and not have to worry about cameras, lights, audio, none of that. Like they have an engineer who is helping them. So I feel like if we had the opportunity to have go to a studio and we just show up, of course it would be
yeah.
easier to record content. But unfortunately, there's no studio around here that I've seen that's like affordable. The nearest one is in New York, and it's
That's still a
wheezy.
stretch.
Wheezy. Yeah, and it's still a stretch, and it's like we're still trying to obviously save money, but it's like we're making money, so we should think about going to a studio with guests, which I've told you to like. It would just be fun. It would be more than us and less stress because we don't have to worry about everything else that comes with it. Um, but I hear you. Um, for I was gonna say random. You know that Preciosa night, they don't drink. So like they do these parties, and I know you've thought about doing parties before. You can't drink if you're hosting. I mean, you could obviously, and I'm sure maybe they'll have a drink or two or shots here and there. Um, but for the most part, it's like they have to be kind of like sober to
Make sure
manage
everything's good.
manage things and make sure everything's going okay, and you know. So I feel like for them, like I wonder how they feel now that they've done so many parties, and it's kind of like becoming a job for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like they love it and they're still doing it. So clearly it's a good sign. But I wonder how they really feel.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of stress pre-planned leading up to one day.
And they do a lot. Like they have to, it's not
They
just a
go all
part,
out.
there's not just a party. It's
Yeah.
like DJs, performers, bracelets in the front
Props,
door, props,
decorations.
decorations, drink menu. Like it's
Hmm.
not just oh no. And then you gotta like negotiate with the bar, and they're over here asking you how many people you got and how much money are they gonna spend. And like
Yeah.
one of the reasons why apparently lesbian bars don't do well or they always shut down is because like girls don't like to spend money. Like drinks are expensive, but
Very.
like gay bars, like guys just be swiping and like spending money, and I mean they get paid more, so of course. But
They got sugar daddies.
yeah, I feel like there should be more gay bars, and I propose them to do a floor for the guys and a floor for the girls. Like 626 has a club. They only have a basement and a rooftop. But if they had a floor, they have multiple floors and it was like kind of sectioned off, it'll be lit. I mean, it's still lit, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes we go in there and we're like, oh my God, so many gays.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are fun. And it's obviously Latina women for the most part. So,
Yeah, it's a good time.
all right. So I came across this article and I was like, I think this would be a good topic because I see it happen all the time. But we're naming it Why Your Relationship Doesn't Last Past 1 year. But this was an article, obviously, really based on straight relationships. And I want to say why your relationships don't last past like 6 months. Because I feel like for lesbians, we do things obviously like quicker. And at times, like, you don't see it last for long.
It's either really short or it has longevity.
Yeah, literally. And I feel like it's really easy to, I don't know, like the honeymoon stage really has you ditzy. And I was reading and it was saying that like when you're in the honeymoon stage, you're kind of literally like love is blind, like you're blind and you're not um you're not thinking straight. Like you're hold on, because I have a thing that says a University College London study found that falling in love actually impairs our critical thinking. Literally, once we get romantically close to someone, our brain suppresses our ability to assess their character and personality. But that blindness to the truth can't last forever. So I feel like how long do you think like a honeymoon stage really lasts?
I really think it depends on the relationship with the person that you have.
Yeah.
And what it is about that person that you like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, physical attraction wise. I mean, that can, if it's just solely based off that, I'd give it a good 2-3 months.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It depends on the connection that you have that's holding that.
Mm-hmm.
If you really fuck with somebody, you can be in a honeymoon phase for forever.
Yeah. I heard that the honeymoon stage they can last like 0 to 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, so I feel like 3 months seems okay. And then like 3 to 6 months, like you get to like really, really know them. And I mean, for like lesbians, I feel like you get to know them month one, really. No?
No.
You think it's the same?
Yeah.
No.
Again, I feel like it all depends on the person, because I feel like we come into like, it really depends on their background and their past experiences. You do have some people that you can date that are just really open, and you know, off the top they want you to know everything about them. But I also think it's like obviously picky choosy on what they tell you and what they want you to know about them.
Right.
Before you get to know who they really are. But some people make it so hard and make it so superficial.
Yeah.
And I think when you make it a little difficult for people to get to know you, that sparks a curiosity in them wanting to know you more.
Mm-hmm.
And I only say that because a lot of people would say like, oh, there's something about you is just like, I can't read you.
To you.
People love to tell me that, like, I can't read you and it's frustrating, but like, I'm curious. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm chilling. I'm telling you what I'm telling you.
Do you feel like you're like an open book when you first start dating someone or talking to someone?
I would say to an extent. I mean, there's definitely levels to it, but I don't think I'm immediately like full force, full front about like all my shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not scared to be vulnerable either. But I think like obviously it's been in phases because, you know, when I was younger and fresh out of my first relationship, I had a wall. I was holding up a lot.
Yeah.
And then the older you get, you realize like, why be so stone cold? It doesn't matter. Like, tell people what you want to tell them. Show them what you want them to know, and whatever comes of it, comes of it. Who cares?
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go down the list, and then we're gonna like pause so I could like ask you some questions. But hold on, this fucking mic. All right, so why your relationships don't last past the 1 year mark? So it says number one, we unconsciously pick our parents. Our brain seeks to recreate the conditions of our childhood so that we can correct them. This requires our romantic partners to have our caregivers' negative traits, which means they are bound to reopen our most sensitive wounds. You agree? Do I remind you of your mom's negative traits?
It's funny because I do feel like I'll be telling you sometimes that you remind me of my mom. I don't know. I'd have to think about it, but I wouldn't say no. You're definitely stubborn like her. You're very stubborn. What you think is what you think. So like, you guys are very strong in your opinion. I could say that.
Yeah.
So maybe just a little bit. And that's funny because I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like in the first few months of the year of dating you, I mentioned like, damn, you kind of like, she kind of reminded me of my mother in the good ways, right? Like in the positive, like I don't know.
You have an example? Do you have an example?
Like, I thought she was pretty badass because like she got a little bit of attitude and shit. And I'm like, all right, like I want me a badass chick because, you know, I'm kind of like that too. So that kind of reminded me of my mom and like some of what I mean, I don't know. I feel like certain behaviors, I can't pinpoint it, but like certain behaviors remind me of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't say it in a sense of like, I don't know. I just don't want to make it weird. Like,
I don't think it's weird.
I don't know. I love my mom, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's just like, girl, you are crazy. Like, and you know my mom. So I'm sure when you think of it, like, hearing me
I
say
think your
that.
mom is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like when her mom is pissed off is like the funniest thing. Like
Yeah.
literally
She be snippety
my
snappity.
stomach hurts because I'm laughing so hard because she really be going off.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. She just be going so off.
Yeah, if she's snapping, she's snapping. But like, on the other hand, that's how you are. When you snapping, you're snapping. Like, she's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you're strong. And I'm just like, oh my God. But it's like, is that weird for you to be?
I don't think
not
it's
compared, but like.
No, I don't think it's weird. I think a lot of people date people that remind them of their parents, either their dad, their mom. Like they have to have some type of quality.
Yeah.
Either good or bad. And like even with past partners that I've dated, like I try to think about like, oh, were they like for guys, like did they remind me of my father? And I feel like they were never up to par. Like it was like my dad is truly my stepdad, one of a kind. I've talked about him before, but he's just like, he's a dad that literally fixes everything for you. Like he'll cook for you. Like he's just so sweet and not your typical Dominican like type of father. Like I feel like if anything in Hispanic households, it's like the mom that's always cooking and serving and doing all these things. And I feel like my mom obviously does that, but I feel like my stepdad's he's not over here expecting my mom to do these things for him.
Yeah.
It says number 2, we get past all the projection. So between 6 and 18 months into the relationship, we move past the honeymoon stage. So I guess the honeymoon stage could last up to 6 months or 18 months.
I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
I say it was at least that long for me was because I was with someone who I really wanted to be with. I was finally in a relationship after so long, and like I was gassed off you and shit. Like, okay, and like, you know, prior to me and you, I hadn't messed. Like, I was in contact with females, like texting, talking. Like, I've had a lot of talking phases prior to you, but I hadn't physically been with a woman in over a year at that point. I don't know if I ever told you that, but before you, I hadn't been with a woman at all.
Yeah.
Not physically, not anyway. So it was like, I don't know. I guess when I was kind of yearning that, and then when we met, for me, I was just like, damn, like something about it immediately felt like comforting and like, I don't know. I was sucked in. And then I guess it just like never died for me. But I think like that's one of the things that I like about it too is like when I'm with somebody I really want to be with, and usually obviously it's a woman for me. It can last a really long time, but I also think that that's all based off the strength of like what your relationship is like. But I don't know. How do you feel like it was for you?
Regarding like the honeymoon?
Yeah.
I do think it lasted a long time because we moved in like what, 8 months into like knowing each other. So I feel like I was definitely still in the honeymoon stage because I was always like really against that. Like moving in with people.
And moving to South Jersey.
Like I was like, what? So I feel like, it lasted a long time for me.
What do you feel like deaded it?
I mean, like petty arguments, you know? Like little arguments, which I'm going to talk about here. All right. Number 3, we stop being on our best behavior. In the beginning of a relationship, we are at our most charming, easygoing, and impressive. An important part of relationship longevity. How do you say this?
Longevity.
Longevity. Look at me. The fuck
Mm-mm.
is the ability to tolerate one another's bad moods and annoying habits. These don't tend to come out until you have been in a relationship for a year. For an example, consider like suspending your hatred for the outdoors to go on a camping trip with someone you just started dating, and then you start like being like, yeah, I'm cool with this, like I'm cool with camping, like I'm an outdoor girl, like I like to hike, when in reality you really don't like to do that.
Yeah.
Like
You're just doing it
that's not your
for
jam.
them.
Yeah, like I feel like in the beginning you try to be so easygoing and like so cool with everything, but you know that the real you doesn't even like to do those things. So yeah. Do you feel like you were like that in the beginning? Like, oh, I'm cool with that, but you weren't cool with that?
No, I don't feel like we did anything out of the ordinary. I
Yeah,
feel
it was
like
also COVID,
I
so
feel like yeah. I feel like if anything, if I presented something, it wouldn't be your thing
yeah.
because I was more
Mm-hmm.
of like a outside kind of gal.
Yeah. All right. Number 4, it says attachment issues come up as the commitment increases. Early life experiences and anticipation of abandonment can come up. As a result, partners start to anticipate the worst from their relationship. This can result in a lot of anxiety and neediness in some people, and feeling and needing space in others, which means conflict. And we did another episode on this, like about like our attachment styles and how like I need space and you're like, oh, let's fix it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is like when issues start like popping up, like when you really start to get to know like their attachment style, and you guys are like in your first argument, so you're trying to figure out how to resolve it, but you can't seem to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, it says grudges are hard to overcome. Studies have shown that a majority of conflicts between couples never get fully resolved. Most people do not have great communication skills, especially once they have been triggered or hurt by someone they love. What do you think about that?
That's facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I could hold the fucking grudge, and I get it from my mom. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't blame it on my mom. But yeah, when something bothers you and it's like you don't speak up about it, or like something happened and it's like you kind of had a half-ass conversation about it, but nothing came from it. No positivity, no type of reassurance, nothing. It's
Right.
kind of like you hold on to that and you're just like, oh, all right, like
Right.
And I think I'm very much of a person to be like, you know what, this conversation ain't going nowhere. It's just getting worse. Like, I'm just gonna stop saying shit, or I'm just gonna stop bringing shit up. And I think that's kind of where you find yourself not saying anything at all, ever. And then I feel like that animosity and like resentment builds up, and you can kind of feel that tension sometimes. And you kind of just hold the grudge, and it's like there's days you wake up and you let it go, and there's days where it's just like it's there. But I don't think. I mean, no one's perfect, regardless of your communication and how figuring each other out. I feel like some things still kind of just stick. It's just what you do with it. But yeah.
All right. Number 6, we struggle to negotiate. The idea that you and your partner are different and may or may not agree on important issues can feel like a betrayal. This often creates feelings of anger and frustration. Successful couples are able to negotiate well, and during this phase, develop their communication skills. Even with great communication skills, though, you may determine that you have many differences that are worth breaking up over. You feel like we have struggle to negotiate things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what?
Well, in the beginning, the whole COVID thing was a real big thing.
Yeah, that was a big deal for me.
Not even that. In the beginning, it was like,
but we just had different opinions about COVID, and then like about the vaccine. That was one. Then it was like voting and like people who were voting and like just like political stuff.
I'm not into politics, so I don't know.
I know you're not.
How politics came into it.
Yeah.
But it was I think one of the things that I remember was just like how you feel as though that I, instead of defending you, wouldn't be on your side in certain disagreements.
Yeah.
So instead of like, you kind of just felt like I was on the other side of other people, and it wasn't that at all. I forget what it was about, but
I just feel like you're a person that has like I don't think you're like this completely like this, but I feel like in the beginning, like we struggle with like your people pleasing. Like I don't give a damn to please nobody. Like I just don't. And you're more like a people pleaser, and like you have a lot of friends, and like you're more receptive to like things, and I'm more of like I'm cutting you off and I'm cutting you off and I don't care. So I feel like we still kind of struggle with that a little bit. But not completely, but that was like an argument in the beginning for sure.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, in the beginning, there was a lot of arguments because I think that I was a very like outgoing person, and not saying that you weren't outgoing, but I think like there was just some things in my behaviors that you didn't agree with, and you're more of a strict person. You're more of a person that comes from boundaries, and I wasn't. I wasn't a restrictive person. I didn't hold myself up to boundaries. You know, I kind of was just a person who didn't care and did what I wanted to do, and I just didn't take things personal. And that was something that we had to like, we learned about each other and kind of like figured out how we were going to work through that.
Yeah.
It was not fun. It was not comfortable. It still isn't fun or comfortable. It's not to say that it still doesn't happen. It actually still happens, but it's just different things now. But it's what you do with it, I guess.
Is what?
It's what you do with it, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Number 7, swipe left mentality prevails. Dating apps have created a mentality that people and relationships are disposable and easily replaced. All you have to do is swipe left. The problem is wherever you go, there you are. Whatever issues you have in one relationship, you are likely to have in another. If you do not learn the advanced communication and emotional skills it takes to have a healthy relationship, your relationships will have a short shelf life. And I really agree with this one, because I feel like I see this a lot in like, I'm going to say the lesbian community, but also the straight community. Like people are very quick to like move on to the next, cut you off, go back on the dating apps and move on to the next. But it's like you keep either attracting the same type of people, or it's just like a game. Like, I don't know. But then you gotta really think about, I guess, like what you're bringing to the table, and like what are the same issues that you keep seeing.
You keep getting the same results.
Yeah.
You're moving to new people expecting new results, but there's nothing new. It's giving the same. And it's because you haven't taken the time to find self-awareness on how it is that you and your behavior is in these relationships or these situationships, and how it's like how you keep getting those same results. And all honesty, while you were saying that, I was thinking about what was the show we were watching? Like all these dating reality TV
Perfect
shows.
Match.
Yeah.
Perfect Match.
That even alone is like literally what you're talking about, where
they
it's
move on to the next.
You match with somebody, and then the next day you can match with the next person if you just didn't have the night of your life with that person, you know? Like when new options come around and you think that that's your type, and that like you're willing to jeopardize the connection that you made with someone else to move on to something new because you think the grass is greener on the other side, and it's not. You're gonna get the same result. It doesn't matter if you're not like putting the work to figure out what it is, like what's going on.
Right. All right, number 8, we're almost done. Number 8, it says milestone pressures. Holidays and anniversaries can create pressure that can kill a relationship. As a matter of fact, what is known as breakup season Occurs
season.
both in the spring and late holiday season. These are peak breakup times due to the pressure to define the relationship, conflict about how significant holiday events should be, fears about measuring up to expectation, or one person being very like ambivalent about the next steps.
What do you mean?
Like I guess like one person like pressuring you to do things that you don't want to do.
Okay.
And so you're like, I'm out of here. But I agree with like the holidays and the anniversaries. Like I feel like even with holidays, I feel like people sometimes expect so much and like don't have a conversation about it. And like we've had those conversations like let's not do gifts, or let's have a max, or like I really want us to go on a trip instead. That way you kind of know what to expect, and like at the same time you shouldn't have big expectations.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was younger and I was dating dudes or whatever, like I would be like, if they don't get me something on Valentine's Day, like I'm gonna be pissed. And guess what? Like Valentine's Day will come and it will be like nothing. So it's
Nothing.
just like, you know what? Like I'm done. And like that's why, I mean, that's why things just don't work out and you're like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, but we have those expectations because those have just been like normalized, whether
Yeah,
it be
right,
normalized in
right.
your home or by society.
Right,
It's
but
just
like
like you're expected to
mhm.
like, okay, I have a partner now, I'm in a relationship now. They have to get me, they have to gift me for all these things or make me feel special during all these, holiday seasons and times. We have to spend time with family,
Mhm.
like, and sometimes it's just not like that. It's not the Hallmark Channel.
It
You
really is.
don't go and visit each other's families and spend weekends in the snow somewhere for Christmas, okay?
No, you spend time working.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, number 9. This is the last one. It says things cool down. We tend to know each other's moves and get complacent about taking sex to the next level. We're no longer showing off our fanciest tricks in bed, and things tend to get more predictable and less exciting. I knew that was going to be on there.
I mean, sex is a part of the relationship.
It is tragic.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything that you feel like could relate? Like why it doesn't last past a year?
No.
I feel like in gay relationships, one thing that I could add to this is like um the whole coming out thing. Like sometimes you date someone that's not completely out and you think that you're okay with that, but then as time goes on, you're kind of living a secret life because you're with them and you're not okay with it anymore. And like time passes on and you're just like, I'm out of here because like you're not ready to come out. So I'm not gonna wait forever. So I feel like that could be another reason, like thinking that you're gonna be okay with it, but then you're in a relationship with someone who's not out and you're like, I'm not okay with this.
Yeah. Even being the person who's not out.
Yeah, thinking that, I'm gonna be comfortable enough to come out and then you're like not comfortable.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go into a family meeting, no?
Yeah.
All right. So somebody said, I'm currently going through a separation with my wife of 7 years. She moved out at the end of 2023 and has recently started dating someone else long distance. We co-parent a dog and have a few assets we share. So unfortunately, the no contact phase was not an option. We have a lot of mutual friends still on social media, and I see the post of her in it. Well, she flew homegirl out here and planned out a whole weekend for them on what would have been our anniversary weekend and posted all about it. I have so many emotions about it because I'm trying to be cool due to the split being mutual, but damn, we haven't started the divorce process and she's already putting herself out there. How should I handle this?
Damn. First of all, the dog thing.
Co-parent a dog. I'm not okay with that.
Why? We would co-parent our dog.
Co-parent a dog?
Yeah. I know you want to just take Bruno, but that's not happening.
Co-parent?
Yes.
No me jodas.
Then you gotta let him go. You gotta let him go. Then you can't have
somebody
him.
gotta keep the dog.
Yeah. Us.
Well, in our instance, we have 2 dogs, so I keep one, you keep the other,
No.
blah blah blah.
No, you can't split them up.
They'll be fine.
They're not gonna be fine. You ain't never had a dog before until this moment. So no. They wouldn't be fine. Yeah, look, Milo already telling me don't
Like,
leave
how does
me
that
alone,
work?
mommy.
Like,
yeah, that's rough. That does sound, honestly, it sounds funny. It sounds like a joke, but it's like you really grow attachment to these animals if we being for real. I know it's a fucking joke, but it's like, and you know what? She laughs at it because she don't take nothing serious. She thinks everything's a fucking joke. But in all honesty, it's just like sometimes these animals be a lot better than you than the people around you,
and
so,
they're very expensive.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's rough.
No, but like, listen, like, I don't understand. Okay, so they're going through separation. Like, people who, like, how do you go into a relationship if you haven't been divorced yet? Like, I know it takes a while, and I know that whatever, but it's just like some people really move on way too quick.
I just think
it's so
that
sad.
I think it's that checkout error. People check out of their relationships, and while you have physically been surrounded by each other and still legally bonded, you haven't been there emotionally in probably some time. So mental and emotional checkout is like a real big thing. And once it gets to that point, it's just like we're just going through the steps. Like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. So I think it sounds crazy, honestly. And I've been in that situation where it's just like, how could you? Like, it's so soon, blah 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 blah. But now I've made it to the age. It's all in age, really. You do get wiser with age. That I realized that, you know, if you're not okay and you're not dealing with shit how you're supposed to be dealing with shit within your relationship, once someone checks out, they're checked out. That's it.
No, that's disrespectful.
So it's kind of like you've already been by yourself, even though you physically been with someone. I'm not saying it's okay. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, for them, it's not like well, I'm not gonna say for them because I don't know, but I'm saying in some situations, in our eyes, it could seem like, oh, how'd you move on so fast? We just broke up. We just started this process, blah, blah, blah. Especially coming in mutually, like you mutually made the agreement to split. But it's just like, okay, yeah, we just split. But it's like, how long has it been that you guys have been so, you know, checked out and distant within your relationship? Because that's, once you start figuring that out, that's really when it happened. Technically, that's really when y'all was damn near single, because I don't know.
Yeah, I just think it looks crazy. Like, yeah. I think about, okay, so like they were together for 7 years. Mm-hmm. So I think about our friends or your friends who've been together for quite some time. Mm-hmm. Let's say you don't know anything about their relationship, right? And then all of a sudden you find out, oh, that they're separated, and then you see that one of them's like over here posting their getaway with this new person, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, my friend didn't even get divorced yet. Like,
yeah, it's abrupt.
It just looks crazy.
It does, but at the same time, it's like, if you were in that relationship and you feel like, you know, I spent so much time in a relationship not happy and alone, but then you finally get out of it and you meet someone. I mean, you can control to an extent on how fast you want to meet someone, but when you fuck with somebody, you fuck with them, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And at the same time, it's like, do you want to keep wasting your time? Mm-hmm. It depends how you go about it, but like, for some people, it's just like, I've already spent so much time unhappy. Yeah. Why am I going to delay it
It's just like a slap in the face. Like,
you don't care about what people think.
I will block all her friends.
Oh, yeah.
Unfollow, whatever.
Yeah, but it's just
like I don't want to see it. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I care, but I don't care. So I feel like for this person, like honestly, like even you seeing these things, or like mute them or something, because
Yeah.
like nobody wants to see. You know how many people I have muted? Like nobody wants to see these things.
Even if it
Nobody
had
wants
been
to see their.
years, though, you'd still feel some type of way. It would still
I don't
bother
have
you.
like any people that I did on social media.
Yeah, but I'm
Uh huh.
saying like you being married to someone for that long or being in a relationship, all your relationships also haven't been that long.
Yeah.
So and you were the person who were in the power of
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be in this relationship. So it's
Yeah.
like, of course you didn't feel that way. But
Yeah.
had you been in a situation where it was like, all right, I did feel that way. I had, you know, been with this person for this long, like,
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be different. It would still bother you regardless.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it would. I'm just thinking about like my friend,
Your friend?
like my friends who are married.
Oh, yeah.
If his
You would be
if
like,
his
what the
husband
fuck?
was out here posting shit, I'd be like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I'm following them. All right, moving on to the next one. I have been attracted to women all my life, but because of my strict homophobic Mexican Latina mother, I suppressed those feelings and I tried to make her happy, and I hid my own identity and who I liked to make her happy by dating men. And even though sexually it disgusted me, I still did it only because I thought it was what I had to do. And maybe it would change my mind, but it just caused trauma. Now I'm in a relationship with a woman and she is disgusted with my sexual past with men. And she has told me she doesn't date bi women and that my past makes me bi. But I identify as lesbian. Is she right? Am I crazy? I need someone else's point of view on this situation.
First of all, that's a red fucking flag.
Red
That's
flag.
a red
Red
flag.
flag.
Because who are you to tell me and you're like you're my partner? She said that was her partner, right?
Yeah.
We're together and you're gonna sit here and fucking tell me I'm disgusting for my past.
Right.
Okay, what's your past look like? Because you've been fucking women all your life, it makes you better than me or something? I don't know. I think
And saying that like, and then saying that she's still bi because she dated men before, but the girl
what?
saying she identifies as a lesbian. So now you're labeling me
Labels
based
have
on
just
my
been
past.
coming
Yo,
messy
people's
now.
past don't matter. Like people gotta get past that. It's the past for a reason.
I get it, especially when you're young, because again, like society has built these ideas of what each gender or sexuality is supposed to be, supposed to look like, all these labels that literally is supposed to pinpoint what everything or everyone is supposed to be. But like it doesn't fucking matter. Let people do what they want to do. If she presents or identifies as lesbian because she was and just couldn't be that version of her in that time, I mean, who are you to fucking say that she's not? I don't know. It's that
Especially knowing that like she really only dated men because of her
right.
family. Like
Not
her
everybody
mom.
can just be forefront and out
Right.
when once they realize it. Sometimes it takes it takes a lot of like opening up to and convincing to really realize like, oh shit, like maybe I do like women or maybe I am gay. It doesn't just you wake up one day and it happens. I don't know, everybody's experience is different, and for her as her partner to throw that shit in her face and make her seem like I don't know, that's just very distasteful, and I wouldn't fuck with that. That would be a real big issue.
I'll cut her off.
Yeah. If that's how you see me, then what's the point?
Clearly,
what do we
she
hear?
just doesn't like bi women. So it's just like, why are we doing this? And not saying that you're bi, but it's just like she needs to be with someone who's been a lesbian their whole life and has never even kissed a boy, because clearly she's gonna get something.
Which I almost feel like it's hard to find.
Yeah, it is. Like I feel like, yeah,
Rough.
Yeah, very rough. But yeah, you don't need to be with someone like that who doesn't respect you and your identity, and yeah, so sad.
And then knowing that, why are you with me?
Right.
Like you already knew.
How did we get here?
I don't know, but how you feel is valid, so that's it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Please please rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We have so many listeners, and I wish that we could just get a little bit more love on the rating side. So if you have some time, please go ahead and rate us, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.